Hi everyone. So this is a skirt of a client of mine, and you can see that the back section here has completely pulled away. So what I've done is I've unpicked all the way up so that I've got access to it. I'll do a close-up for you. And so that means that, you know, I've unpicked everything. Now what a lot of people might do, because it's like that, you know, they might just put a piece of fabric behind and darn it. But what I find is when you unpick something completely so that you've got, you know, you can lay it flat, and I will iron that, and I'm going to cut all this away, then you can actually do a better job than if you're trying to jump over seams that are quite thick. This is something that happens a lot with garments that have got a split in them. You know, that was like that, and you know, there's a lot of pressure there, so that's why it's pulled away. So a lot of splits will end up with this kind of problem. There you can see the tear. It's quite significant. And you can see that I've unpicked this all the way up to there. There's a little hole over this side as well that I'll repair. And I've unpicked that section there just so that I can get to that quite easily and darn that as well. As you can see on this side how bad it is. So I'll find some fabric to put behind that and darn it and show you how I do it. The black is too black. This is probably a bit like a French navy, but it's grey as well. So I'm going to use this piece, and I'm using pinking shears. And then I need another piece for the other side. So initially, just cut off a big chunk. Now, the trick with this is that there's no point in keeping that. Trying to sew over that is going to be very, very difficult. So I'm going to cut that away, and this is where you have to be strong, because initially you're going to worry and go, oh my goodness, you know, I don't want to cut it away. But it's the best thing you can do. Okay, so the thing with this is that the skirt is quite firm, and that means that she really can't afford to lose anything. Now this is Vizaflex, so it's used a lot for craft work. On this side is paper, this side it's glue. But you can actually peel that back. So you iron this onto the fabric first, then peel it back and then iron it onto there. But when you're doing something like this, because there's a big hole, you don't want the Vizaflex to show here. You only want the fabric to show. So I'm just going to press this so that I've got it sitting flat. Okay. Now you want to cut this so that it's going to be like that. So up to here and down to here, so I can get rid of that bit. And I want it to come out, you know, about 3/4 of an inch, couple of centimetres. So it'll be like that. Be up there. I'll take a bit more off here. And then this can go around like that. And that can get trimmed later, but it's going to be like that. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now, I want the Vizaflex, if you imagine that's underneath there like that, that's going to be like that. So I want the Vizaflex to be on the other side of all of that. So I'm just going to get my chalk and mark it. Okay, so that's my outline. Now my Vizaflex. So that can go there. Go there. Just trim it a little bit. Go there. And I just need one for that corner. Okay, might put a little bit there. Okay, now I'm just going to press that on. And now peel it off, and can you see the glue that's there? Okay, so if you've got any bits, I do suggest you get them off your ironing board, because you really don't want to iron it onto your ironing board. And now what we do is brush off those bits. slide that in. Just going to press that. So it still looks a bit scary, but it's not going to when it's finished. Okay, so that's now glued on for me to darn. Now we'll just do this little one here, which is this little piece here. Just going to round off the corners. And then in this instance, I'll just place it there like that. Obviously keep that away from the iron. Now I don't have to worry about doing anything in the middle because there's no hole there, so I don't have to worry about that. And all I'm going to do there is place that over the hole, like so. Make sure it covers it and press it. Okay, so that's the preparing part. Now we just need to do the stitching. Just thought I'd do a close-up for you so you can see what it looks like. It's a piece on this side. It hasn't actually adhered properly, so we'll just to pull that back, and I need to give that another iron. And this is the other one. So see, we didn't really have to worry about that because that'll be covered. Whereas this one, you know, we had to place it so that there was no glue on this side, because once I darn it, I don't want to darn it and have glue there. The success of this comes down to the thread that you're going to use. Now, this would have been black originally, and it's faded a lot, and you can see that a black is almost too black, but a grey, and that's a dark charcoal grey, is actually probably too grey. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use one of these blacks, probably this one, because that's, you can see that that's got more green in it. That, I mean, there's so many different coloured blacks. That one, maybe that one, and this again has got too much green in it, so I'll get rid of those. So now it's a decision between that one and that one. But what I will do, I'm going to put this on the bobbin, and that way I'm introducing the grey into it, but from the bobbin. So you can do that sometimes when you can't get a perfect match. So it's just a matter of deciding whether I go for that one or that one. I'm going to go this one because I can see that it kind of merges in there a little bit better. So I'll go with that, and I'll put that on the bobbin. I'll try the little one first just to make sure everything's okay. So I'm turning the straight stitch to 2. So every time I reverse, I move across just a slightly. You see that? There it is there. I'm going to fold that over, so I'm just going to pull that back and trim that. I don't need that there. So okay, so let's do the other one, the big one. there. I'm going to take that off, just make it too thick. Just do a few more in there. You can see that there, you see that there. So now I'm just going to do a bit more down there. So why I did that was that I just wanted to create more of an effect similar to the cord, because obviously I didn't have any cord fabric to use. So now I'll put it all back together and I'll show you what it looks like. So there's the final repair. Now I know some people would say, why would you bother? And I know I'm going to get comments like that, you know, buy a new one. But she couldn't find another one like it, and she asked me to fix it. So when you look at it on the other side, that fabric choice, even though it wasn't a cord, it still works okay. And if you look at that from a distance, it's probably going to be hard to even notice that it's there. Now there's just a couple of little things I want to do. This here, this white that you can see, is because this was dyed. So when I unpicked that, you could see the white. In other words, this was originally white and then it was dyed. So what I do is a permanent marker, so it's not going to come off. I'm just going to dot that, couple of dots, just to get rid of that white for her. And it's not going to come off because it's a permanent marker. So there you go. That's got rid of those white bits. So that doesn't look so bad, does it? Remember what I said, like somebody may have just gone, you know what, we'll just put a piece behind it and darn it, and they wouldn't have undone it like I did, unpicked it and then put it back together again. I think that by unpicking it and having total access, being able to go up and down and up and down and up and down, it allows you to do that kind of finish. You can't even really notice that one on that side. There it is there. So that's how I darn. Remember, I use what's called Vizaflex, which is what they use for craft. So it's paper with glue attached. And then remember, I also used a black on the top, but I used a dark grey underneath, which meant that my stitching wasn't quite so black. And that's it. Happy altering, or repairing in this instance.